welcome back to my channel and welcome to another segment of Carey's Notebook. So today we're going to be doing a very unique video. So today is International TB Awareness Day, and being a TB survivor, I have decided to use this platform to help create awareness and to also reduce TB stigma, especially among the youth. So today guys, I'm going to be telling you my story. I'm going to tell you my experiences, what I went through with TB, and I am hoping by telling my story I'm going to help or encourage someone somewhere, and to also, like I said, help to create awareness as much as possible, and also to help to reduce the stigma that comes with TB. So watch till the end. So it all started when I was in third year, second semester. I was doing my undergraduate. I was in school at that time. I remember it was around March, like towards the end of March. So that is when it all started. So this is 2019, so I was 20 years old back then. So I remember, I cannot even like tell you guys how I got it or how it started, because I really can't tell. I don't know like how I got it. You know, TB is airborne, okay, so you can get it from somewhere, but my best guess is I got it still when I was in school, okay, because we had reported for the Jan to April semester, and I started to feel like the discomfort in my chest and some coughing March, towards the end of March, okay. So that is how it started. So it's just a simple cough, one that you not get suspicious about. So once I coughed for like 3 or 4 days, and I decided to like at that time all I did is like just get a cough syrup, and at that time it just stopped, okay. So guys, April came, and now like the cough, I can say, has now picked up, okay. So I coughed like I started coughing like towards the end of March, like that last week of March, and then April still I was still coughing. I coughed the first week of April. It goes on like becoming more intense, okay. So I still coughed the first week of April. The second week of April, I'm still coughing. I'm like, this cough is not going away. So all I'm doing is like, I'm just going to a chemist and getting myself antibiotics. You know how we treat a normal cold, a normal cough, okay. So I'm still going and getting medications. The third week of April, I'm still coughing. So this is around the time that we finished our exams and are now supposed to go home. So I still went home when I still had that cough, okay. But when it got to the fourth week of April, see, I'm still coughing. I coughed for still the whole of that April. So when it got to the fourth week of April, that's when I decided I'm not going to buy more meds. Let me just go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and then I told the doctor that I've been coughing for almost a month. Okay, told the doctor that I've been coughing for almost a month and a week, or a month and 2 weeks. And then so the doctor just prescribed for me some medications, some pills to take. I guess those are just strong antibiotics. So I just went home. I took those antibiotics. I just bought and took those. But it's just like the cough just subsided for like maybe 3 or 4 days, and then it came back. So when it came back, I'm still coughing. So I decided to go back to the same hospital. So I went back, and this time I met the same doctor, and the doctor was like, your cough has not yet gone away. Like, the cough has not gone away. So this time around, it's still like, now we're heading like towards the end of April. I'm still coughing. Now this time the cough has intensified. So the doctor just decides to, I think I was injected. I was given some injections because he said something like an infection, and then he gave me more meds. So this time he told me these are stronger antibiotics. So I took them. So this time I knew, I was confident that the cough is going to go away, okay. So I was injected, and then I took those medications. So now we're headed to May. Okay, we're headed to May. So I decided, since this is the time we were supposed to look for like the attachment internship, I decided I was good to go, because now I have the meds, I'm taking them. You know, it's like every time I get some antibiotics, the cough subsides, but it just stays for 3 or 4 days, and then it comes back. So now we're headed to May, okay, and I have these medications, so I keep taking them, so now we're May, the first week of May. The cough comes back. I'm still taking these medications, but it only stayed like I think 3 or 4 days, and the cough came back, and I was like, now what is happening here? So again, I'm still coughing the first week of May. I'm still coughing the second week of May also. So you see, I've been coughing for the last week of March, the whole of April, and now still coughing like towards the end of May. So at this point, like around mid-May, this is when other symptoms started to show, and this is when now the cough was really, really bad. So guys, now we are heading to like the end of May, around 20th of May, and now I can start to feel that this cough is not normal at all, because it's not like the cough that's like you cough and then you cough again after 5 or 10 minutes. It's like continuous. It's like you're coughing and coughing, and you cannot like complete an entire sentence. Like I can't talk the way I'm talking. I cannot finish a sentence without coughing. So that is how intense the cough was, okay? And then by this time already I have other symptoms that I'm feeling. So first of all, my joints, you see this, the knees and these hand joints, they were like pain. There was pain in the joints, and then there was sweating, a lot of sweating at night. I don't know how to call it fever, but I was really sweating too much at night. And then the other symptoms that I know is my chest. You know, I every time like I'm taking a deep breath, there's pain. Like I cannot like take a full deep breath. I can just like take just shallow breaths, because it's like also getting difficult. It's painful actually to breathe, okay? So this is where we decide now to like really go to another hospital and find out what is wrong. So by the time we were going, it was like around 20th of May there. I was really weak. I had already started to get really weak, because I'm just coughing and coughing and coughing, and I can see that I'm feeling a lot of pain, especially my right side, this area here. So we just went to the hospital. By that time I was really weak. That day we decided to go to the hospital, I can remember. So we went to the hospital. They took an X-ray, of course, of the chest. And the doctor that came that day just told me that my chest really looks bad. But you know what the doctor did? They told me that they diagnosed me with severe pneumonia, not CB. They diagnosed me with severe pneumonia, and I was actually admitted. So I was admitted for that to that hospital for 4 days, but I am being given pneumonia medication. Okay, so this time they're also thinking it's pneumonia. I'm admitted, they're giving me pneumonia medication. So for me, I was also telling myself, by the time I'm out of here, I am going to be well. I'm not going to be coughing anymore. The pain will be gone. Okay, this is what I'm telling myself, because the day that I reported to that hospital, when they took my X-ray, I can remember it was really difficult to breathe. So before they actually admitted me, they had to put me on oxygen. Like they just put me on a gas oxygen. You see these gas masks, and then they put me on oxygen so that at least I can be able to breathe, because it was difficult at that time. So that is when now they decided to admit me, but they diagnosed me with pneumonia. So the 4 days that I was admitted in that hospital, I was actually being treated for pneumonia. So on the day that I was discharged, of course, I was discharged with some medications for pneumonia. They told me to keep to take them, I think. So it was like they went for like 5 days. So you can see now we are approaching now the end of May. So when I went home, those 5 days did not even come to an end, because the cough still came back again. This time everything came back worse. So now guys, I can see the condition, or rather the symptoms, now intensified. This is after I came from the hospital where I had been diagnosed with pneumonia. So this time my symptoms are like intensified. So this time now I even start vomiting. You see, I am coughing continuously, you guys, continuously. Not that you're coughing like 1 minute, you stay 1 minute, you cough again. No, continuously all through the whole day and the whole night. So now I even start vomiting. Everything that I eat, nothing was holding in my stomach. So like I eat and I vomit, I eat and I vomit. So you see now I am not eating, I am coughing continuously at night. I can't even tell. Like the sweating, it was too much. And also the pain now in my chest is like really intensified. Like I cannot, I'm just taking shallow breaths. I cannot take deep breaths because I take deep breath and it is really painful. So I remember at that time there's no way I could like say like using my right side. It's just the left side was a little bit better. So that is when we decide my family decided that now those pneumonia medications are not it, they're not working, the cough is not going away, it's getting worse. The body is generally weak. I'm just weak. I'm not able to do anything. So we went back to a different hospital now. So this is they did, and so this hospital like started their tests. I told them I have been coughing for really long, almost 2.5 months now. So I tell them, they tell me that they're going to do now the TB test. According to what I've told them, they also do an X-ray. Okay, so now this doctor now calls me and tells me. So this time around, we also do they take my weight. Okay, so at that time I had not even realized it. I had not even known that I had lost weight, but I had lost a lot of weight. So for me, I've always been small. I've never had a big body. My weight used to range between 48, 49, 50. But at that time when they took my weight, I was really surprised because my weight was all the way to 43. I've never gotten down there. So I told the doctor my symptoms again. So after the results came out, that is when the doctor told me that what you have is actually not pneumonia, it is TB. So guys, first of all, when the doctor said that I had TB, I did not know how to react. I was actually shocked because there is no at one point did I think that whatever I was ailing from was going to be TB. Because also for me, I was just hearing about TB, people have TB, but I have never really thought that I could get TB. And also I did not I didn't know what TB is, what it entails, how you're supposed to go about it once you've been diagnosed with TB. So I was just looking at the doctor, now just waiting for more information. And the doctor just told me that whatever it is, I was suffering from TB, and they were going to put me on medication right away because I've already stayed for too long. Okay, I've been coughing for too long, so it has stayed for too long. So I'm just going to take the medication. So the doctor says that the TB medication was going to take me 6 months. But first of all, before I even got to the 6 months, it's just going to take for 2 months, and then I'm going to be tested again just to make sure that the TB that I had was not resistant. Okay, so I was started on medication, of course, right away. But I had to like make visits, several visits within the week just to go and get checked. Okay, but I was given like for me, I was given, I know a lot of people like those people that have been diagnosed with TB are given like four pills to take, but the doctor just gave me 3 because according to him I was too weak at that point. The drugs, the medication could be too strong for me, so just given 3 and another a small white tablet. So I was supposed to take that for the first 2 months, and then the doctors were going to test me again, like I said, to see whether the TB was resistant. So I took my meds and I went home. So when I went home, when I was alone in my room, that's when I decided to like look up what this TB is. Why am I supposed to take this medication for all these 6 months? Kwani, how serious is this? So I just did my own research and found out what it is, why I'm supposed to take medications without stopping. So yeah. So guys, the hardest part about TB for me was having to deal with the symptoms themselves, because I think that was really difficult for me. Because first of all, having to cough like continuously without stopping all day and night is really difficult, because you can't even have a conversation with someone else. You can't talk without, because you're just coughing all through. And then the other hard part was for me was the weakness, just the general body weakness that it was causing. First of all, one thing about TB is, for me was, I could not, like, I lost appetite. See, within the first week that I started taking the medication, I had lost appetite. I was not eating. Like I said before, I was just like vomiting, but now I could not eat. You're not eating, you're not holding. So another thing is, like, I wasn't able to hold any smell, whatever the smell is, whether it was of food, whether it was perfume, whether it was food cooking. I did not want to, like, smell anything, because the moment I smell anything, no matter how slight that smell is, I just was ending up vomiting. And then I couldn't hold food, I couldn't eat. Like, I remember last time I just used to, the only thing that I wanted to take was just porridge. That is the only thing that I was taking at that time. Okay, so you see, like, at that time you're not eating, you're just vomiting, you just continue losing weight. And then another hard part for me was the pain in my chest. The pain that was in my chest area, especially around here, was too much. Like, it's like you're feeling pain when breathing. You breathe and you feel pain, you breathe and you feel pain. So that is how it was for me. And then like, I think that chest was really affected. You just get tired easily. It's like you're moving, when you move from point A to B, like, you get really tired. You feel like you're even struggling to breathe. It's like the same way, like, I remember I couldn't go upstairs, doing up and down the stairs. You feel like you're struggling to breathe. Okay, and then, so for me, it was just the pain in my chest. I remember this right side, I think it was the most affected. Sometimes, when I was sleeping, I just used to sleep on my left side, and then I just used to make sure that this right side, I wasn't sleeping on it, because it was, like, really painful. So for me, the hardest part was having to deal with those symptoms: not eating, feeling tired all the time, the night sweats, the fever, the pain, and not being able to breathe properly was, like, the hardest part. And then the second hardest part is, like, not being able to tell people about it. Okay, so I remember when I had been given, the time I'd been given antibiotics for pneumonia, I felt like I was going to be okay. So I had actually decided to, like, now go to my internship. I only just went for that internship for only 3 days, and then I felt I cannot go anymore. So when I went back, actually, and they asked me what the problem was, I just used to tell them that it's pneumonia. I actually never told anyone that it was TB. And when I went back to school, September, I still had like 3 months to go of taking medications. So when I went back to school, I also did not tell anyone. Not even a single person, none of my friends. I didn't tell anyone that it was TB, okay? Because the cough did not like go away immediately. You're still like coughing. It's just that it has subsided, but it's still there. So you see, when you're coughing and then someone is asking you, hey, what is wrong with you? And I tell them it's just a pneumonia. I had a case with pneumonia. I just really never got to tell anyone that it was TB. And that is how I realized that, looking at it now, that is how I realized that it's actually this stigma that is facing people with TB. So yes, eventually the TB went away after I had taken my medications for 6 good months. Okay, so after the second month, then I went back and I was tested again. The doctor told me now that my TB is not resistant, so I just have to keep taking my meds for the remaining 4 months. So I went for a whole 6 months. Okay, so I just think that like another challenge was there is having to take those meds. Remember, you're taking them every day. You're taking them every day for 6 months. Okay, and the doctor made it very clear that you cannot skip. I cannot skip taking those medications, because the moment that I do so, the TB can just get resistant, and I have to take them again, but this time you have to take them even longer. Okay, so just have just told me to make sure that I watch my diet, take a lot of bodybuilding foods, because said like my lung, something like my lung had been, a little damaged. So I just have to make sure that I take a lot of bodybuilding foods, and I have to make sure that I take my medication every day for 6 months. So my, you remember my medication, I was diagnosed around mid-June, so I had to take July, August, October, November, and mid-December is when I finished. So I had to take it for 6 months. So when I went back now for the last month now to be checked, the TB was totally gone. There was no TB, okay? But that does not mean that the only thing that was left is, like I told you, by the fourth month, the cough had subsided, okay? The cough had subsided, the fever, the joints, the pain in your joints, those symptoms had subsided. So by the end of the 6 months, the only thing that was left actually was the pain. And I'm talking about the pain in my chest. That one was still there even after the 6 months. So the doctor just told me I just have to keep taking the bodybuildings, just to make sure I'm eating properly, so that my lung can heal whatever, like it was damaged. It's the reason now I'm having that's pain. So just have to make sure that you keep eating properly, so that the lung it's built again. So I think the pain in my chest subsided later, after almost 2 months after. 2 months after I have finished my medication, and the TB was totally gone. That is when now I could at least breathe properly, maybe take a deep breath. Okay, yeah. So, to anyone that has been diagnosed with TB, or someone who was diagnosed with TB but they have not still finished their medication, I will tell you to like stay strong and keep taking your medications, because that is the only thing that is going to help you get better. Remember what the doctors say about TB. If you fail to take your meds, then your TB may become resistant. It could get worse, and you could have to like take the medication for even longer. So if you're there and you have been diagnosed with TB, I'll tell you to just stay strong, keep fighting. Once you finish taking your medications, just like me, you're just going to feel fine. I mean, that was 2019, and it's just 2 years, almost 2 years now, and I felt completely fine. I don't feel anything at all. I am totally fine. I completely got healed. So just make sure that you take your medications. Just make sure that you eat well, stay healthy, and it's going to be over before you know it. So, to those who have never been diagnosed with TB, first of all, TB is airborne. That means everybody or anyone can get it, okay? So, I'll just tell you, just make sure that you treat those people that have been diagnosed with TB with love, because they really need it, because it can actually even affect you mentally, okay? So we just need to like give those people a lot of support, a lot of care. Just talk to them, just let them tell you how they feel, okay? Encourage them through because it's a lengthy, it's, you see, the 6 months, for those going 6 months, still something lengthy. Keep encouraging them, because myself, I just was asking myself, why is it that I find it really difficult to share with someone else that what I'm actually going through is TB? Why can't I tell people? Why didn't I tell anyone before at that time? And it occurred to me, it's because I was afraid of, if I tell you that I have TB, you're going to start treating me differently. I don't want to be shunned, because you're going to feel like I'm going to infect you or something like that, okay? So the only reason why most people with TB do not tell people about it is because they're afraid of being shunned, of how you start treating me differently, you start seeing me differently, and I don't want that to happen, okay? So remember, the moment you're on medication, you're no longer infectious. So there's actually nothing to be worried about. You don't have to shun those people. Already they're going through a lot with the TB itself. So the best that you can do is show them support, show them love, and just assure them that everything is going to be okay. TB is not a death sentence. Guys, if you feel like you have a cough that is not going away, if you have other symptoms like fever or pain in your joints, if you have any of those TB symptoms, guys, kindly go to your nearest health facility and get tested. And even if you were to be diagnosed with TB, you're still going to do your medications. It's not a death sentence. Just do your medications and you're going to be fine, just like me. So it's nothing big, it's nothing to be ashamed of. So let's stop stigmatizing people with TB, because it's something that they're going to get over it. You know, the moment you start taking your medication, everything is going to be fine. And also, guys, let's help in creating awareness. Let's stop treating TB like it's something like it's too big or something to be embarrassed about. Let's just create a space where you can talk about TB like any other illness. Like, for example, I can just come here and tell you I have TB and I'm taking my medications without being judged. Okay, let's create a safe space. Let's create a safe space with people with TB, support them, help them go through their medication, because nobody deserves to die because of TB. So guys, I really hope that my story was helpful. I really hope I helped you see something about TB in a different way, and I'm hoping that I encouraged someone somewhere. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.